This is the 4x4 the smart tripod is going to be attached to. There are 3 of them. These are supplied by the buyer. So in order to put it together easily, I use workhorses here and 2 C-clamps. One here and one here. These C-clamps hold this board here. It's just a piece of plywood to help me to put it together. It's not a part of the system. So the idea is to take the sides, put them this way, flush at the end, 2 of them, one on each side. Just let them rest on the piece of plywood. And then hold them in place with another C-clamp. There. This is the way I suggest it's being put together. Now the big question is how to drill a hole and make sure we end up at the other end at the right spot. Here is the trick. Other than one installed, all I have to do is drill only one side, half of the beam, and then go on the other side and drill all the way through. The bit will sense the end of this hole and then direct itself towards the other hole. You see, it's that easy. Then you take a threaded rod or a bolt, 3/8, grease them up, put them in a hole, drive them through, and lock it with a nut. The hardest part is done. We'll do the same thing in all the other holes. Now it's time to install the eye bolt onto the Jesus nut. It goes this way. So the nut goes this way and all the parts rest on top of one another and the welds don't hold the weight. If you install it this way, the weld will hold the weight. They would, but it's not the intent of this part. This part, the weld only holds it together. It doesn't hold the weight. And it comes with 2 nuts. The 2 nuts are to lock it in place. You tighten one against the other so it doesn't come undone. Tighten these 2 so it doesn't get loose. This is where you install your hoist. So the Jesus nut comes over here, right, just like that, and the pins, they go just like this. And the cotter pin locks it in place. You bend it afterwards. So you do that with all 3 of them. When you install the pins, make sure you grease them really well. Now for the 3rd one, what works best is to put a board here. Put it like that, like this, put it on top. Now the last pin, I don't grease them, but they have to be greased. This is only a demonstration. Now it's ready to go to work. Just make sure you bend the pins, and you're gonna have years of good service.